All right, so that's at an angle, right? So that's not gonna work. But if I go straight up, it touches like right there, right? And that's what, 14 and a half, 14 and 3/4 ish. Well, that's an inch and a half. So we're looking at 13 and a half, 12 inches. 12 inches from there to the tab, which would drop down a little bit. 12 inch, it'd be a 12-inch ride height, okay? And if I wanted a 15-inch ride height, I'd have to add 3 inches to this plate. So I'd have to put a fish plate here and a fish plate here, bolt them on there, and then take this bracket and bring it down here. And I'd have to have I'd have to just basically make this bolt pattern and make it so that it would bolt on up here and stick on down here, and I could add a few inches there because I got like 9 inches, okay, from the plate to the tire. That's almost 10 inches there, right? So I could easily add 3 inches to this and drop this down more. And so another option would be to twist these a little bit, twist this and turn it in, and put them on this. You know, I could even turn that straight because it's only tacked in, and mount way up here. But it would, because see, those are straight with the frame, it would kick the, and I don't think it would matter, it would kick the coil over like this, you know. So I don't think that would kill anybody to have the coil over kicked over like this, but I also think that I have room to put it right there. So that's my options, because I want this to be lower. Right now that's at like a, what is it, 14 and a half inch center, you know, and see how the rocker's jacked up a little bit. I'd like to raise that tire up into the fender a couple more inches, at least 2 or 3 more inches. So this right here, from there to there, is 6 inches. So that's the only, it can only travel up 6 more inches from a ride height of what we just decided was a 12-inch ride height. I don't know why I said 12 though, because that's 14 and a half. If I drop it down a little bit, it's 14, 13 and a half. So we're looking at probably a 13 and a half to 14-inch ride height. There's 5 1/4 inches on each side right here. So if I was to run a pipe from, attach it to this and get it out here and make it cantilever over a little bit, and run it all the way across, I could put the coilovers right here without having to weld a bracket and warp my rear end again, because I already straightened it. Don't really want to warp it. And then I'd be able to adjust this bar up and down it however I want, and I'd be able to go all the way up in there as far as I want and get a ton of stroke. It would kind of affect my tubs a little bit, because the tubs I planned on attaching to the side of this. So if I put a pipe up here and run I'll have to cut a hole in my tubs for the perch right there. So that's another option. Alright, I moved on to the headlights because I'm waiting on parts for other things, and it's just something to do. These don't really fit very well, and I've already done this one because I grinded right here a little bit already, so I can't show you how high it really was, but it was probably 1/8 of an inch higher so far right there. And that's how much I got to grind, is when that hole gets too thin for the bolt to grab on. See, when that hole gets too shallow, I'm gonna get it right down to where it's just barely there, and I'm gonna have to grind this off a little bit too because it touches right here. I'll show you. And the only reason I know how to do this is because I saw it on another video that I may or may not link below, but somebody else did show me this when they did their car. See how that's touching right there? That's holding it from going in. So I'm going to grind that knob off, and then it's going to look like this, which isn't perfect, but it's acceptable. And then the guy that I watched, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do this or not, grinded it here and here and cut it. And then there's if you take this off, there's pinch welds that you can drill out, and he pushed it down, and then he did some stuff here and pushed it over. If I can find that video, I might link it, but just know that video is out there, and you could probably find it if you Google, or if you YouTube search enough, I mean. So that's what I'm doing now, and I might eventually do that because I could probably weld it back and then smooth it off. But the other option would be to just, I've seen other videos where guys are just putting putty here and making a filler right here to level it off, which I'm not a completely against. But like the one guy said, the less filler you use, the better. So I have to make that decision. It'll probably take me a while to grow the nuts to cut this brand new fender, but I'm gonna do this one and see how it looks, and then make a choice. Okay, that's looking good. Now, right there, see how it's touching right there? I'm going to grind it just a little bit right there on the edge, and then it'll fall in just a little bit more. So that's what the other guy did too. Alright, so I shaved just a fraction of an inch off right there, and I shaved that almost all the way down. Probably take a little more off and still be okay. That fits even better than the other side. Put the screws in and see how it looks. So that's a little gap still on both sides after bolting it in. It's still gapping, and that's because it still needs to come out, have a little bit more grinded off of that knob. So I'm going to keep working at it, get it as low as it can go. There. I still got 1/8 of an inch left on that nub there before I run out of metal for the screw to grab onto, so that's good. It worked out pretty well. And it's just a little bit high. And this worked out real well. It's a little bit, I can feel it, but that's something that mud could probably take care of. So now I'm gonna take this side off again and work on it. Okay, that's how far I've got it ground down, and I'm not sure I want to go much further than that. So depending how it fits, I could probably, I'm a little lower on one side than the other, it looks like. But I'm going to test fit it and see. You're going to want to work your way down on that because they're all a little different, I think. So wouldn't want to take off too much if you don't need to. Alright, well that's about as good as that's going to get. Because I'm not comfortable with taking any more off than that. And it's really not that terrible. It's that bothers me. This one's not as bad, but it's still got some. But I think that'll be manageable now. And there's that. Not quite sure what to do about it. If anything, I guess I don't have to do anything about it. But it doesn't look that bad when you get further away. I don't know. That's all I'm going to do for now. I'll wait until I'm closer to doing body work to worry about my decision on that, because I gotta do something here too. So the rest of it can wait. I'm not sure if putty would hold on right there very well, but to think about it. Maybe let me know what you'd do in the comments if you want. I'm going to cut this video short right here because I need to get this stuff off my device so I can send it in for repair. So like and subscribe.